What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to basketball. And more importantly, LaMelo Ball is okay with being traded. I feel like this is something we've all kind of anticipated could happen ever since the Hornets drafted him. It just didn't seem like the Hornets were in the right place to maybe grow this talent, keep him long term. But now we're kind of in this place where he's like, hey, man, I might want out. And so that's what we're here to discuss today. We're going to take a look at every single team around the NBA and see if, one, it makes sense for them to take on LaMelo Ball, but also then, if it does, what could a potential package look like? You guys know how this series works at this point. Let's get into it. But before that, make sure that you guys like, subscribe, and comment. I've responded to every single comment to my YouTube channel up to this point, and I intend to keep on doing so. We've got a lot of great content on the channel right now, a lot of in-depth film breakdowns, some mock drafts. We just did this same video with Anthony Davis last week, and it did pretty good. Surprise, surprise, people love trade rumors. So hopefully this one does the same. Let's start talking about LaMelo. Oh, it's so good to have Fanspo back. It's so nice. You know, it's funny. If you boot up the trade machine right now, it'll tell you like all the trending trades that are happening on the website. LaMelo Ball number 1, Anthony Davis number 2. Since making this video, the Mavericks have actually said, at least Mark Cuban has, that they're really not that interested in trading AD, which, like, fair enough. Good for them. But we're here to talk about LaMelo Ball right now. 4 years, about $38 million a year left on this contract. There's a lot of time left. He's 24 years old, right? And LaMelo Ball's a polarizing player and maybe even person, to say the least, right? I'm just pulling up some stats on him really quick so we can take a look at where we're currently at for a lot of things this season. When you're looking at actual like shot locations, we're getting to the rim a little bit more this season, a little bit less mid-range, or we're finishing at the rim a little bit better is what I should say. It's still a struggle for him. Three-point shot still not really there. We haven't really had like a great three-point shot since his second year. So it's just kind of steadily going down and down and down. Now, again, when I talked about at the beginning of the video, right, like there's been questions about how long LaMelo Ball was going to be on this team since he got picked by the Hornets, because at that time the Hornets were looked at as this very disorganized organization. They had a lot of problem players on the team, and not that LaMelo Ball's gotten in like a ton of trouble off the court. He's just kind of seen as maybe a polarizing person off of the court, right? But you know, like whatever, it is what it is, right? I got no beef with the motherfucker, but the talent is clearly there, right? Like basketball IQ wise and everything, like I honestly think it's like pretty damn awesome. Like the assist percentages are crazy. Like as defensively inept as he is at times, he actually like does see the game pretty well. I just think maybe he's a little bit slow at times, but regardless, there's a lot of talent in this kid, right? It's just maybe Charlotte wasn't the place to actualize it. Who knows? Like maybe he'll end up sticking around. It's not like he's demanded a trade or anything. We should just note he said like, hey, if you guys trade me, it is no big deal, right? Like no hard feelings. And I'm sure that since this new regime has come to Charlotte, they've been put in an interesting situation, right? I know you guys want to get to the trades and everything, but I got to give a little bit of detail. Just skip forward like another 2 minutes if you really want to see the trades. Don't actually do it, you fucker. Learn something. Why don't you? New regime comes into the front office in the middle of what was already a rebuild. So you already got these young players that you didn't really pick up. And now you're trying to evaluate like, hey, should I be holding on to these guys? Should I not be? I don't want to just give this talent away or whatever. We've talked about on the channel, maybe LaMelo's one of those that you just get rid of. With Con Knipple playing as good as he is, and I'm not saying the dude's going to be all NBA one day or anything like that. We're a long ways away from Con Knipple being all-star good or whatever. Maybe we're not. but maybe Con Knipple being good says, hey, we can get rid of LaMelo. We've got a lot of excitement in him. We've got plenty of other guards we can go onto the team, or we can go to on the team. Let's maybe just try to move him and try to get something else and just really restart all of this and try to rebuild the right way around Knipple and fucking Ryan Kalkbrenner. I'm here for it. And then Brandon Miller, like when he's healthy and everything. I don't know. I'm not opposed to it at all. So I think when you have kind of the polarizing like leadership role and best player in LaMelo, I think it's worth exploring. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go through every single team and determine if it makes sense to add them to the team. So we're going to start off here at the bottom with the New Orleans Pelicans. Oh boy. Okay, does this make sense? Right off the bat, I just don't think the Pelicans should be doing much of anything to like add other talent and salary and things like that. Having LaMelo and Zion on one team Don't lie, we would all want to watch those games. We would all want to watch those games, but does it really make sense for them to do it? Like, Jeremiah Fears having a very good rookie season so far. Shout out Derek Queen as well. They've got a lot of other guards on this team, so like you could make the deal happen, I suppose. And if you're the Hornets, do you want stuff from here? Because like you'd have to take back either like Jordan Poole, DeJounte Murray. I'm just looking at like apron space and stuff like that for these teams. Okay, so they're a first apron team, they're not, so yeah, you'd have to kind of match salaries here to make it work. And like, sure, would you like to have a Herb Jones or something like that and a Trey Murphy? Yeah, I don't think the value for LaMelo Ball is like insane, right? I think it's like high for an NBA player, right? But I don't think it's anything that's going to like blow your socks off. Again, NBA teams know about some of the personality question marks and some of the goofiness that goes on, right? And just in all fairness, he's not always the most productive, right? It hasn't led to winning, hasn't had the greatest team around him, but I don't think the Pelicans can do anything like this, especially because, like, look, if you're trading a Poole or a Murray, you probably got to include picks as well. And I think if this team trades another pick, their fan base might actually just like run them out of town at this point. So I'm going to say probably not. The Sacramento Kings. Oh my God, how funny would it be if we traded him to the Kings? How funny would it be? Could something like this happen? Why would the Hornets want... So like, presumably the Hornets, or excuse me, the Kings want to blow some stuff up, right? Sabonis is out now. As soon as Keegan Murray came back, Sabonis went out. This franchise is cursed, man. It just is. It ain't good. It ain't good. They need to blow some shit up, right? That's fairly evident. I don't think buying on a LaMelo Ball right now is probably in the best interest of the team, right? I feel like to send LaMelo Ball somewhere, we have to have like logically a pre-established culture already and a place where he can kind of facilitate to some other people right now. Because what is his best attribute? It's the passing, right? And the creativeness that he can play on offense. And you got to probably have some defense around him if you want to win some basketball games. And they got to be willing to pay him too, because he is under contract the next 4 years. And I don't think it's a bad contract by any means. It is a lot of money though, so you have to put him in a situation where you're winning, right? You don't want to pay this to be on a losing team. So we got to find a place where he can really do some playmaking and stuff. This team probably just needs to tear things down rather than buy new assets. Who knows? Maybe they'll go for Kuminga or something like that instead, just because the Kings are goofy. But I don't know why the Hornets would want like Zach LaVine right now, DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk. I think Malik Monk might just quit the NBA if you sent him back to the Hornets. I know it's different people now there, but regardless, just my thoughts. So I don't know why the Kings would necessarily go for him. Let's go to the Dallas Mavericks. Okay. So if I were to film this last week, right, when we were kind of exploring Anthony Davis trades, and mind you, like my philosophy with the Anthony Davis stuff was, hey, if you just want to like clear all the bad press that was the Luka trade, and let's not even have AD on the team at this point, just so we can kind of move on as a franchise. I get it, right? I totally do. I think it's hard to accumulate this much talent on a basketball roster at one time, so I'd like to see them give it a shot, and it sounds like they are, which is great. So because of that, I'm going to say probably no, right? Because the only way that you can really make this trade happen is if you trade Kyrie, which Kyrie's going to help you win more basketball games than LaMelo, we presume, at least, right? And like the other one's Anthony Davis, so just probably not, right? Unless we're packaging players, but this is a first apron team, so they can package players together. I don't think so. I don't think it makes sense to do like a LaMelo Ball and Kyrie Irving thing. So we're going to pass on the Mavericks. Mavericks fans go, phew, just let us relax for a little bit, right? The Grizzlies. Oh my God. We could. We certainly could, Memphis. No, in all realisticness, probably not to do a Ja Morant LaMelo Ball swap, but oh man, this feels like a hostage exchange if you were to do something like this. You know, like in the movies where like they have like somebody that's kidnapped and then like you got like one of the mobsters or something on one end and they're both kind of like tied up with like a bag over their head and all right, both of you walk forward right now until you get to the other person. That's what it would feel like is happening right here with that kind of trade, right? I think both of these teams, if they were to move on from people, like the Hornets are like, hey, just let us reset a little bit, right? Like let this front office get the chance to build the roster their way, because they've already been like, hey, we're going with a certain type of culture. We're going hard-nosed people and Con Knipple, right? And then maybe Brandon Miller fits into that somewhere. I don't know. And Kalkbrenner, because we're huge Kalkbrenner fans on this channel now. I'm being so serious. I'm rooting for the kid. I don't think the Grizzlies would be like, okay, we got to get rid of the personality that is Ja Morant. Like, that's a big flaw with Ja Morant right now. They're like, yeah, we got this point guard. He's pretty skilled, turns the ball over maybe a bit too much, good assist guy, can't really like shoot the ball all that well, and then bring in another guy kind of like that. The good news is LaMelo Ball has not openly shown any firearms, so maybe they're on Instagram, and that I'm aware of at least, so maybe that's an upgrade. But I think we'll pass on the Grizzlies as well. I don't think this market's going to be like too absurd. The Clippers, this is one that I'm curious as to how you could make it work, like right off the bat, because we know that LaMelo's camp would love for him to end up back in LA, right? They would love to. The Clippers are in a not so great spot right now, right? 11th seed currently in a very competitive Western Conference. They're 4-10. Injuries have already bitten them in the ass, right? Bradley Beal's already out for the season. They got the disabled player exception for him. Do they just concede? It's early in the year, right? And we shouldn't judge teams too much. I always say wait until you get about 20 games in, because we have a lot of data that suggests that that's when you can truly start to evaluate teams. But how would you even get this to happen? And let's just say you wanted to, even, right? What would be the benefit of that? Like, what would be the Clippers' perspective for this? They're just saying, hey, we're giving up. We don't really know, because like, what's James Harden's contract like at this point? How much, like, how year to year is it? So there's a player opt out here. He might not opt out of that, because I don't know who else is paying him that much, right? So I don't know, because I don't think you're trading James Harden over here. That just doesn't make really any sense for Charlotte necessarily. So I don't see that. Can you even trade him this season? Is he on one of those contracts where you can't actually trade him this year? There's so many of those to keep track of nowadays. I don't even know. So hopefully Fanspo will correct me if I do something like that. So then you'd have to do like a John Collins and like Bogey type of deal, and then like you just say, well, maybe Harden doesn't come back next year, and then we just have LaMelo going forward. I don't know. It feels like the Clippers kind of just need to let this season ride out, get off some contracts and stuff like that. Like John Collins will be off at that point. I'm nothing against John Collins. I don't know. I don't think this team's in a position where they can take him on right now, especially because you'd probably have to include like some draft capital, and you might want to hold on to that going forward. So we're going to pass on them. The Jazz got a lot of young guards that they're trying to develop already, and it feels like they'd be accelerating the process to go after like a younger player that's already hit his like first extension. So right off the bat, that turns me off to that kind of deal a little bit. How would you even make it happen, right? In order to get back fair value, this team is capped at the first apron currently. I don't know. I don't think it makes sense. Like, especially if let's say you did have concerns about like Ace Bailey, like personality wise, which I personally don't, but I know some people do. You're probably not doing something like this. I'm not sure the Jazz organization is adding a player of LaMelo Ball either. Again, I don't want to say the guy's like a bad dude or anything. It's just we know LaMelo, right? He's a character, right? So I don't see the Jazz maybe pulling the trigger on that. The Trailblazers. This is the first one that I think we could maybe do something for. And in all fairness, the Trailblazers just have like a certain like breakdown of contracts where you can make any deal happen, and nobody's quite sure what this organization is trying to do. So I feel like logically you can just like talk yourself into anybody being traded there. But let's explore it, right? Drew Holiday, solid season. Oh well, they got Damian Lillard, no, don't they? And like let's just explore for a second. So you got Drew Holiday on the team, right? My presumption when they went and got him, right, was like, hey, we can basically just get Drew Holiday for free right now, and then we can make him look good this season, which they have so far, and then we can flip him again, because there's really no point to holding on to him for another 3 years in this much time, just to go be like a 9th or 10th seed in the West. And maybe they get better or not, but it feels maybe a bit unlikely to me. Why would they want LaMelo Ball? So they compare him with Denny, who's also really good this season, but Denny has been so good because he has the basketball in his hands, right? Now, we could easily do a trade like this, or we send Jeremy Grant over. Maybe you're not interested in Scoot Henderson anymore. You send him over like this. So, like, yeah, something like this could probably work, right? Does that make a ton of sense for the Trailblazers? I don't know, you probably have to attach a pick to this as well, because like Jeremy Grant's been playing good basketball this year, and probably, well, still not probably worth his 32 million, right? And Scoot Henderson, you're banking on a lot of potential there, right? Of him playing next to Khan. I would like him on that Hornets team a little bit more, honestly, just because of the play style that they kind of embody there. I don't necessarily understand a LaMelo Denny thing, and like, what if you hold on to Drew? And like, Drew can play without the basketball. There's no question about that. He was great in like pick and roll situations where he's the roll man. But you got Dame coming back next year too, and like, presumably you want to play Damian Lillard a pretty good amount of minutes, right? So I don't know. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. So I don't necessarily see the Trailblazers as a logical place for him to go to next. The Warriors, a team that probably at least wishes they might have taken him in that draft instead of James Wiseman. James Wiseman probably was the pick at that point. It just didn't work out, and now we know what we know about the development of this team, right? This team could use another guard. Salary cap wise, I have no idea how the fuck you would make this work, right? You could trade Kuminga, right? Like, let's just see how off we are now. Like, is this just as simple as throwing Moses Moody into it now? Yep, I know he's recently signed or whatever. They can't be traded until January 15th. Yep, I totally understand that. You need to cut $15 million more. Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. So it's not even just like a Moses Moody, huh? Damn. Wait, there's like some trade exceptions here. Automatically applied when usable. Ah, okay, fair enough. So no. Probably not going to happen. You need to cut another 3.8-ish. And again, what would be the reason for this? Like, Steph doesn't need the ball all the time. Like, would LaMelo fit in their system? Almost certainly not. I'm just exploring it more so, and you need to add another 3-ish million. So what, you'd have to throw Melton on there or something, or Pods? Nah. Don't see it happening. Don't see it happening. So we'll move on from the Warriors as well. Phoenix Suns. They could use a guard. Devin Booker, as great as he's been this year, and honestly, the Phoenix Suns, I think, are exceeding a lot of our expectations this year just because Booker has been pretty awesome. There's something to be said about the fact that historically Devin Booker's been best without the basketball, and he's good with both, right? Like, he's just a good basketball player, but historically he's best when he's coming off his screens, catching and kind of working from there, right? And someone else is kind of running the offense. Think back to those Chris Paul days with the Suns. You could throw him on this team if you're the Suns and you want to try to remain competitive while you have Devin Booker. Fine. Would you rather have Jalen Green or LaMelo Ball? In this circumstance, I'd probably rather have LaMelo Ball. I think it's a positional need for you. I think it's a skill set that could be advantageous to the team. Let's see where this gets us right off the bat. So that works, right? Now, LaMelo Ball, more valuable than Jalen Green, right? So we've got to compensate some more. And Phoenix Suns fans go, no, we don't we don't have anything else to give. We really don't. You guys got a couple things to give here. So like, you could trade like this little Washington swap here, and then like, I don't know, like these are both swaps that are probably not going to be all that great. So I don't know, maybe you throw in 2 of those or something like that in order to make this happen. If you're the Suns, you're happy that you got like a guard, and like, look, you already had Jalen Green on the roster. It'd probably just be more advantageous to have a LaMelo Ball. Jalen Green, like, how many games has Jalen Green played in this year? I feel like I never see the motherfucker play. Like, I know he made his debut and everything. Where has he gone since then? Okay, he did only play in 2 games and then he disappeared. What happened to him? What's wrong with him right now? What's the injury? But if you're the Hornets, what's the logic here? You save some money. You have Jalen Green now. So what? You got Khan, you got B-Mill, you got Jalen Green. Nah, I don't know why you do that. Like, you get the draft picks and everything. They're not really that great. So, I don't know. That doesn't seem to make sense for me. And obviously, we could do 3-team trades or something like that and reroute Jalen Green to fucking Brooklyn for all I care. And then the Hornets get back some other shit, right? Like, we could do that, I guess. So I guess more so the point of this is that we could make something happen with, like, LaMelo to Phoenix. Perhaps. I think Phoenix could have the people in place to be like, hey, LaMelo, like, this is how we gonna do shit. Like, Devin Booker's clearly that dude. So maybe, I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts on what that could look like. Like I said, we could add a 3rd team into it just because, like, fuck it, right? Like, if we rerouted him to the Nets because they're like, I really don't give a fuck, then what, you take back like Michael Porter Jr. or something like that instead because they just don't care. I don't know. Maybe you could do something like that. What about just like, Trying to think, like, how little could we send back to them in this deal? Can we just do like Zaire and Terrence Mann? Because like the people on the Nets at this point really don't matter. He can't be traded for 3 months. That's really the only issue with this. So the Hornets, we'd have to give them better draft picks, obviously, in order to kind of make this happen. But I don't know. Maybe there's a framework somewhere like that that could happen. So the Suns, that's kind of the first team that I think maybe could make something happen. The Timberwolves, much like the Ja Morant stuff, is fun as it would be to see Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball on the court together. I don't think we can do that. I don't think we can do that in good conscience. I just don't think so. I think we're just gonna move on from that one. I think we'll move on. The Spurs, nope, that's not happening. Just for a lot of reasons, right? They got a lot of other guards they're worried about, and franchise-wise, they're not going for that. The Lakers, they have Luka, so no, and Reeves, so no. But would it be cool to see LaMelo in a Lakers jersey? Sure, why the fuck not? The Rockets, they could use a point guard. They could use a point guard. How could we make this happen? Amen hasn't been bad at it this year. Hasn't been bad. And they've been honestly just letting Şengün do more of the shit, right? So that's kind of cool. But yeah, would it be nice to kind of have a primary guy just to set up all the other people? I'd love to see Amen Thompson and LaMelo Ball play together, because LaMelo does just see all of the reads, right? And Amen knows all of the places to cut. That could be kind of sick. That could be kind of sick. So let's just explore. Why don't we just explore? See what happens. Much like what a college dude tries to tell you when he traps you in his frat house bedroom, right? Let's just explore. Let's just see what happens, right? So obviously you do some sort of Fred VanVleet bullshit, right? You send him over there. What are we looking at as far as how far off are we? $12-ish million. Okay, fair enough. You know what the Hornets need? Big men. You know what? We got a lot of big men. How much is Clint making? 6 right now. So we send that over there. Now we are how much off? 6.2. Still 6.2. This could be one where you throw a Reed Shepherd in. Then you throw in a Reed Shepherd. He's been playing some good offense as of late, so at least he's like hitting his threes and everything, which we're thrilled about for Reed Shepherd. You do something like this. Why does this one fail? He can't be traded until December, so not a bad one. Not a bad one. You get back a Reed Shepherd so you can fuck around with him, see what you like and what you don't like about him. You can start to build the ultimate Caucasian squad right here. I'm talking Reed Shepherd, Con Knipple, Pat Connaughton. No, we don't want him. We want Liam McNeely and obviously Big Culk. So I think we're on to something here. And obviously you throw in like some picks or something like that. Oh yeah, you have that Brooklyn pick right there. That could be really valuable to them, right? Because let's be honest, like Clint and Fred VanVleet don't really do much for them right now. Reed Shepherd, sure, there's some value in there. I don't think anybody's looking at him like, oh, he's our future like starting point guard or anything, but you know what I'm saying, right? And then you like move that over there or something. I could see something like this happening. I don't think it's like too far off. And obviously, again, a lot of these trades with big players nowadays, you just kind of need a third team to get involved to clean up some of the other actions. This video is more so to get us thinking about what teams could take them on. So I don't mind this. Rockets fans, what do you think? What would you like to do? You want to see LaMelo Ball in some red? I don't know. I'd be curious. I would be curious. Moving on to the Nuggets. Nope. We're moving on from that to the Thunder. Also going to be a big old nope. Let's go to the Wizards. Would the Wizards entertain this idea? I don't think so. I think the Wizards, at least, like their GM and kind of front office as well, seem like they're kind of following the typical, we'll call it the AVC rebuilding playbook, where it's like, hey, we got all these young guys. Like this season, our role in the NBA economy is we're just going to take bad contracts, and just kind of help facilitate these 3-team deals. We'll take all the bad players nobody wants, give us our draft picks or whatever, and we'll just keep getting our young guys on the court. Alex Sarr looking better this year, maybe, or Keyshawn George is having like a fun season, right? So we start to grow him. We want Koulibaly on the court. We got Trey we're trying to grow, right? Let's just let us grow our people over here. We're doing fine, all right? They're still maybe waiting for their star guy, but bringing in LaMelo Ball, probably not the option for them there. The Pacers. Halliburton will be coming back, so I don't think there's a need for LaMelo Ball. This is just what we would hope LaMelo Ball would eventually become, right? So I don't think we need to touch anything there. Man, have the Pacers been bad this year. Man. The Nets, could they just end up with him on the team somehow? How funny would it be if they ended up with LaMelo Ball after drafting like all those guards or something? Probably not realistic. This team isn't like buying anything. Like the reason they got Michael Porter Jr. is because they got picks with them too, right? So there you go. So nope, not the Nets either. But will they be involved in a facilitation somehow? Sure, maybe. The Bucks, haven't thought about this one. at all. The problem with the Bucks is they don't have a lot of valuable resources to send out. So you'd almost certainly have to get a third team involved because this team doesn't really have picks that are all that good, right? Atlanta's got a pick swap with them. The Pelicans have a pick swap with them. Portland has a pick swap with them. So like these aren't good draft picks, more likely than not. The idea for the Bucks would be like you just need more talent around LaMelo. Honestly, like y'all got Ryan Rollins. Ryan Rollins kind of crushing it right now, which I know I see the comments and everything. Like we'll have to do an NBA progress report on him. I already covered him in another video, but fuck it, we'll just have to do it again. You guys better watch that shit because it gets demonetized. But having the talent that is LaMelo would be nice. Again, I don't know what you could give up to warrant somebody taking on like a Kuzma or something like that. Like I guess you could let's just experiment real quick because I want to explore it and be able to say that we tried our best with it. LaMelo, you go over to the Bucks because they just want any sort of talent they can get. How much money do I have to get off of to make this happen? So obviously Kuzma, he's not playing like horrible right now. You send him over to Brooklyn. Brooklyn's like, num. Give me some draft picks for taking him on. Okay, cool. I take it I can't just move you two, and then I don't know. Fuck it. You guys get. What do you? This is the thing. Like, what do they get then for LaMelo Ball? Right? There's still like no big asset to send back. Like, it's not like Yegor or something like that, or like Claxton or whatever. So no, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. Milwaukee, you just don't have the assets to do shit, and that's okay. We should go back in time and do trades at some point. That could be kind of cool. The Boston Celtics. Nope. Gotta save the money. Here's the one, right? The Orlando Magic, a team that struggles. They did have a good three-point shooting game this week. I can't remember which night it was. All my nights are blending together because I'm pretty sleep deprived at this moment. But Magic, they need a creator. They need some sort of offensive playmaker, and we've got one right here. We have got one. This team could really use a true point guard. Defensively, he has struggles. Everybody else on this team can play defense. I'm interested, right? I'm interested very much so. And they got people that can make this trade very simple. So let's explore this a little bit. You got Desmond Bane on the team. You just traded for him. Cool. We send LaMelo over here. The basic thing is just send Suggs back. Like, where's Jalen Suggs at for this year? And I know there's injury concerns and hairline concerns and all sorts of other things with Jalen Suggs. But let's take a look. So 37% from three this year. Nice. What's his attempts at? Oh, he's shooting quite a few threes too early in this year. It's small sample size, right? Historically, not all that great. Actually had another season where it wasn't that bad though. So you can talk yourself into like, hey, maybe this could be like another guard that we're kind of building around right now. Maybe a little bit more stable presence or whatever. Like he's a good basketball player. There's no doubt about that. Is he the primary guy with the basketball? Well, hard to say, right? But you can go find other ones of those guys. But could I see a world where maybe you have a lineup of like Miller, Suggs, Knipple at some point, and then of course Big Culk? Maybe. I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever seen. And then Orlando probably has to throw like some sort of pick, do they? Like what? I think they got to throw like something. We're talking about like this guy has been an all-star before, so I don't know, maybe you throw something at him, right? Like, throw like this at him, Utah holds right to swaps, like, throw a couple seconds at him, or something like that, maybe something like that. Like, Suggs a pretty solid player. 5 years left on his deal. I don't know, I don't hate it. Oh, it fails. Why? Oh, I need to cut $2 million more? Well, guess what, Charlotte? Do I ever have a deal for you? His name is Jet motherfucking Howard. Or do we send back Anthony Black? I know Magic fans go, no, he's been playing good recently. You guys shut the fuck up for a second. Your boy's cooking, okay? They're like, send him Tyus, AVC. AVC, send him Tyus. That's the Magic fans right now. You guys get Jet Howard. Congratulations. You get to see if Jet Howard's good at basketball. So we do something like that. Boom, shakalaka. There you go. I think we all understand the LaMelo Ball fit with the Magic, maybe a little bit stronger, like work hard, grind kind of culture, right? Suggs, well, he's playing well this year, and if you're a Magic fan, you're like, hey, let me just fuck around with Suggs a little bit more, see what he can do. Cool. I'm not going to hate you for that or anything. I mean, let's take a look at some of the other numbers this year. Assist percentage pretty good as well. Turnover percentage pretty damn high, but like you get a lot more defensively out of him as well. The problem is he the true kind of creator that you need? Like, I'll keep saying it, like Bane and Suggs are kind of like half playmakers, right? You know LaMelo's one, so I don't know. You guys tell me what you want. I feel like Magic fans will be like, no, we want to keep our culture high. I'm not actually making fun of you guys for that. I'm just using the voice. But anyway, move on to the Sixers. Nope, they got enough guards or whatever. They have enough dancing guards and stuff. Shout out Jerry McCain, man. I'm glad he's back and healthy. So we'll pass on the Sixers. My Chicago Bulls. You can never rule the Bulls out from anything. You never can. They got Giddy, so probably not. It's such a redundancy to go do it, but the Bulls love point guards. They do. So I'm going to say probably not, as much as I think it would be really funny. Miami Heat. Interesting. What would be the benefit of adding LaMelo Ball here? You go Heat culture and shape him up and do the thing we always talk about and just be like, yeah, we're going to clean him up and everything's going to be real nice or whatever, right? Maybe. I don't know. He is only 24, so you get a lot more time to work with him. I feel like the Heat wouldn't be turned off to that. I know some Heat fans are kind of like out on Hero, especially as you're probably watching Norman Powell play right now. You're like, give me more Norman Powell, right? I don't need Tyler Hero back right now. So like, fair. You could probably use like a true playmaker on here. We just did the Jaime Jaquez video this week where we kind of talked about him. Maybe Heat fans want the ball in his hands a little bit less, but you do have Jokic Jonas too, and that shouldn't deter you necessarily from LaMelo. But I don't know. Like, again, you could build the ultimate Caucasian squad in Charlotte, and as much as I'm all about that or whatever, because I just find it entertaining for some reason because I'm a child. But I don't know. I don't think that makes a ton of sense either. See, it's hard to kind of find some fits for him, but just to mock it out a little bit, like it would have to be something revolving around these two. It actually just like works in and of itself. So all-star level guard for all-star level guard, kind of like borderline all-star level players, right? Hornets save a little bit of money, less time on the contract, whatever. Tyler Hero can play for you now. It's not a big deal. You're probably not going to win any more games because of him. He can play with Khan, sure. Why the fuck not? The Heat, it's an upgrade, right? And I don't know if you'd have to like throw in picks or something like that for this. Like I could genuinely see that as just like a swap. I don't know what this does for Charlotte as much as just gets off of LaMelo Ball though. And again, saves you some money. You get off the contract a little bit sooner or whatever. So I don't know. It depends on what the other offers look like, right? Are you trying to just like acquire more draft picks or whatever, which the Hornets have done a very good job of accumulating recently. Good job to their front office with that. But I don't know. You guys let me know. What do you think of this? What do you think of something like that? I'm torn. The Atlanta Hawks. They could use a guard like at this moment, although everyone else on this team is just doing their impersonation of like, I'll get 9 assists a game tonight while Trae Young is out. I've even seen some Hawks fans start to be like, do we want Trae back? Do we actually want Trae Young back? Because we kind of like watching this offense more than like the offense when Trae isn't. That's what I've been trying to tell you fucks. But whatever. I'm not like a Trae Young hater or anything like that. I just wish the coaching staff would do more with him, right? I don't see this probably happening right now. You got Trae Young, and like that's just more important. Cleveland, probably not. Yeah, because if you were to ever move Darius Garland, it would be to get someone that complements Donovan Mitchell a little bit more, and that's when I think like a Suggs could come into play. The Knicks, nope, you got Brunson, so you're probably good. The Raptors, ooh. Let's send LaMelo up north. How funny would that be? Toronto, Ball. Interesting. Like, let's say you're not fucking with Quickly for whatever reason, right? Raptors, second seed right now, 10-5, got a lot of defensive presence going on, and you're getting like enough offense between Barrett, Barnes, and Ingram just kind of all doing their thing. Would it be beneficial to have a true like point guard on the team? Because like Quickly, I always see him as more of a combo type of dude. Can we get a Quickly stat check? Really quick, let me get a quick stat check. How are we doing? Oh, assist percentage pretty good this year. We're doing pretty, and the turnovers are pretty low so far this season. Ooh, things are looking pretty good for Quickly. Ooh-wee. I'm not sure I can do it. Because again, you're taking on a lot of pressure taking on a LaMelo Ball, right? Although I would love to add, I'm not going to say the height because I don't want those YouTube comments. I saw a video of like, it was like Ohio State football players going to like in elementary school and all the players just doing this to them, I think we've just like failed as a civilization at this point. I truly do. Like, I think it's all just going to shit. It all started when Fortnite came out and ruined a whole generation of kids because they'll never be able to dance now because of Fortnite. Like the high school dances are going to be so ass now. So I don't know. I don't like this. I just don't. So now that old man yelling at Cloud AVC has spoken, I think I'm holding off for right now. Don't need to send LaMelo Ball to Toronto. The Pistons, no. You've got Cade Cunningham. Things are going great right now. Jalen Duren is an all-star. He's an all-star. I'm riding the ship hard at this point. I'm just going to be completely illogical with it the rest of the season. No matter what happens, Jalen Duren is an all-star. And I love him for it. So, yeah, I guess I didn't figure there would be many teams that we see a fit on. What did we say? If you can figure out the Bulls, I don't blame you. The Heat is a maybe. Orlando, we think there's probably something that can be done there. The Bucks seem too difficult. Then where do we go to? We said the Houston Rockets. That could be a place we could see. The Timberwolves. It would be really funny. I don't think they should, but it would be funny. We talked about the Suns. I like the Suns idea. I do like the Suns idea. I don't really know where Jalen Green falls into that. I think that's where you get a third team involved and try to ship him elsewhere to try and get some picks or something like that. So maybe a Brooklyn is okay with giving up something to just have Jalen Green. I don't know, or maybe it's Washington. I don't fucking know. The Warriors, no. Trailblazers. You could talk me into them wanting to do this because they're a bit goofy at times with their trades, but I don't know if it completely makes sense. We talked about the hostage exchange for the Grizzlies, perhaps. The Mavericks, probably not. None of these other teams, probably not. So which one is our favorite one? I don't mind this Rockets one, man. I think the Rockets one would be kind of cool, and I'd like to see him playing next to like a KD and a Şengün and like an Amen Thompson, right? Like they just kind of seem like they got their shit together, and coach over there in Houston does as well. So I think that's the one I'd probably like the most. But this is where I pass it off to you guys. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below what you think makes sense. And by the way, putting this out on a Saturday because I feel bad. I know I was late to upload this one. Your boy's just been swamped, and I didn't think I was going to get a video out on Friday. I had a little bit of extra time in the morning, so I wanted to get one out to you because I don't like to disappoint people, right? I try to get the content out for everybody, so I'm trying to make up for it by getting you guys a Saturday video. But anyways, I really appreciate it. Let's move on to the comments of the video. Alrighty, y'all. Comments of the video is coming from our latest NBA mock draft video right here. Go watch it if you haven't. Also, go watch the progress report, this week's rookie report, last week in the film room. Go show those videos some love because, like, if they're not that interesting to people, like, I probably don't want to spend the time making them. So give me some feedback on them. If you like them, great. If you don't, I'll let the views speak for themselves. But anyway, comment to the video goes to Luke Farney here. I know is a somewhat frequent commenter on the channel that said, I could be wrong, but based on just watching some of these guys, I get the sense that we're padding these heights a little bit. And I did respond to this one already with kind of like I could see it. I haven't watched a ton of film on these guys, so I don't have any opinion on like this comment itself, but I'll tell you guys, I've been in meetings like when I was on like college basketball staffs where people have said, hey, let's just list the height as this instead. Like that shit just happens, and it is not uncommon to do it, right? Which I always go, why? Like, does it really matter? Like, do we really care if like we're going up against someone that's like 6'8" versus like 6'6" that much? Like, do we? So I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I'm curious to hear what you guys think about that or whatever. But I can tell you, that shit happens. They lie about it. I've seen it happen. I've seen people be like, let's just put this guy on the roster right now, even though we don't think he's actually going to show up. Let's put him on so they have to game plan for him. Like, whoa, shit's crazy, man. That shit's crazy. But yeah, thank you guys for the great basketball conversations. If you want to have more of them, go join the Discord. Link is in the description down below. We're always talking hoops on there. And as always, like, subscribe, comment, do all of those things. You boys got to get back to work. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a good weekend. We'll see you again on Monday. Bye.